Hello students, welcome to my channel Parina Jain Tutorials. This is the third part of this chapter, acid, bases and salts. In this part I am going to cover about reactions of acids and bases, the chemical properties of acids and bases. So first of all, let's understand that how do acids react. In this video we are watching that hydrogen bubbles are forming by the chemical reaction. These hydrogen bubbles are coming out of this delivery tube. When we brought the burning candle near the mouth of the trough, we see something is happening. So let's watch it again carefully. The candle get extinguished. So students, what we have observed, then when acids react with metals, they form hydrogen gas. But along with the hydrogen gas, one more thing is formed, that is salt. Let's take an example. Hydrogen chloride, for example, hydrochloric acid we have taken as an acid and magnesium we have taken as metal. So we observe that magnesium chloride is formed as a salt and hydrogen gas is produced. How this reaction is happening? Let's look at the chemical equation. So this is a symbolic chemical equation. Hydrochloric acid formula is HCl, magnesium is Mg. This magnesium is a metal and this metal will react with the anion of the acid and forms a salt, magnesium chloride. Hydrogen will displaced from the acid as hydrogen gas. So this is how the reaction is happening. The metal will react with the anion of the acid and from the acid the hydrogen ion will be displaced as hydrogen gas. So this is what happened in the reaction before. Now let's look at the reactivity series. So in the reactivity series we are observing that potassium is at the topmost. Then sodium is after the potassium. As we are coming down in this reactivity series, the reactivity of these metals are decreasing. That means the sodium is less reactive than potassium, lithium is less reactive than sodium, calcium is again less reactive than lithium, magnesium is less reactive than calcium, and so on. Here we are observing that hydrogen is coming under lead. That means this hydrogen is less reactive than all of these metals. Potassium, sodium, lithium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead. All of these metals are more reactive than hydrogen. And the metals which are less reactive than hydrogen are copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. All these metals are less reactive than hydrogen. It means that all of these metals which are more reactive than hydrogen can displace hydrogen from its acid because hydrogen is present in all the acids. Remember, I have explained to you that all the acids contain hydrogen ions. That is why when we add acid to the water, it liberates H plus ions. So all the acids liberate H plus ions, means all the acid contains hydrogen in it. So this hydrogen is get displaced by all of these metals because these all metals are more reactive than hydrogen. But copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum, these all metals could not displace hydrogen from the acid. That means these all metals could not react with acids. Now let's again understand that how these chemical reactions happen. How can we write these chemical reactions? So we have done that magnesium when react with hydrochloric acid, it produces magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. Okay, I told you how it forms. Magnesium reacts with the anion of the acid and H is liberated as hydrogen gas. Similarly, all these reactions takes place. Calcium, the symbol of calcium is Ca and hydrochloric acid means HCl. So, let's do it once again. Calcium is Ca and hydrochloric acid is HCl. So, calcium will react with this chlorine and will form calcium chloride and hydrogen will be removed as hydrogen gas. Okay, if calcium will react with nitric acid, so what will happen? Nitric acid is HNO3. So calcium will react with nitrate and will form calcium nitrate, and hydrogen will be removed as hydrogen gas. Okay, you should remember the valencies of all the cations and anions which you have learned in your previous class. Like the valency of calcium is 2 and nitrate is 1, so it will form calcium nitrate. Like this it forms the formula. This will be the formula of the salt. So this is how you can write the chemical equations, chemical reactions. Okay, sulfuric acid is H2SO4. So it will react with sulfate in this sulfuric acid. Calcium will react with this sulfate and forms calcium sulfate, and hydrogen gas will be displaced out. Similarly, if we take some other metals like zinc, so zinc will react with the chlorine and form zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas will be produced. Magnesium react with the nitric acid, so magnesium in this will react with the nitrate and forms magnesium nitrate, and hydrogen gas will be produced. I have given these compounds below so that you can write the reactions easily. So you please try it by yourself for writing the equations. If you find any difficulty, you could ask me in the comment section below. Now check out this chemical reaction one more times. So this is our test tube. This is the sulfuric acid. This is the zinc granules delivery tube, test tube stand, soap solution, and this is a burning candle. So all these things are the we required. Now first of all, let's put the zinc granules in the sulfuric acid. Chemical reaction will start happening. You see the bubbles are producing. We close the mouth with a cork and we put the delivery tube. After arranging the delivery tube to the test tube, so we see the hydrogen gas will be coming out from the delivery tube. This hydrogen gas is coming out the delivery tube. Now we bring the burning candle near the mouth of the trough. We see the soap solution produce the soap bubbles. So this soap bubbles will produce and it will be containing the hydrogen gas. So what happens? The burning candle will So what we have observed some sound have produced when candle got extinguished. So that is a pop sound. So this is called a hydrogen test. Whenever a burning matchstick or burning candle is brought near the mouth of a test tube in which the hydrogen bubbles are producing, so the burning matchstick or candle get extinguished and a pop sound is created. This pop sound is like just we have opened a bottle, like some bottle we have opened, so it produces a sound of like that. So this is our hydrogen test. When burning candle is brought near the mouth of a trough, the candle get extinguished and a pop sound is produced. This pop sound is the hydrogen test. Okay, now how the base react with metals. Whenever a base react with metal, it forms salt and hydrogen gas, same as the acid. So for example, we have taken aluminium as the metal and sodium hydroxide as a base. In base, we always have OH ions in the chemical formula. Now what will happen? The hydrogen will get removed to form hydrogen gas. Now we are left with sodium oxide here and aluminium here. Because sodium is more reactive than aluminium, we have seen just the reactivity series. So sodium is more reactive than aluminium. That is why it will act as a cation, and aluminium and oxygen will form an ion, that is aluminate. So the salt will be sodium aluminate. This will be our salt and hydrogen gas. H will be removed as hydrogen gas. Let's take another example. For example, we have taken zinc as a metal and sodium hydroxide as a base. So hydrogen will be removed to form hydrogen gas. Now we are left with sodium oxide and zinc. Again, the sodium is more reactive than zinc. That is why sodium will act as cation and zinc and oxygen will form zincate. So it will form sodium zincate, the salt. This is the formula of sodium zincate. Now next is Let's look at this reaction, that we have added sodium bicarbonate in a jar and we have put some acid. You have seen these kind of bubbles produced in the cold drink also when we open the mouth of our cold drink. So these kind of bubbles produce. So these bubbles are what? These are the carbon dioxide gas. So how this reaction happens actually? Whenever a metal carbonate reacts with acid, it forms salt, water, carbon dioxide. This is the basic nature, or you could say the formula of this reaction. So you have to learn the formulas of the reaction, then it will become very easy for you to write down the reactions. It's not only that metal carbonates forms only salt, water and carbon dioxide. Metal hydrogen carbonate, when reacts with acid, they also produce the same products, salt, water and carbon dioxide. So you just need to remember this thing, that carbon dioxide is produced whenever a carbonate react with the acid. Here metal carbonate react with the acid, here hydrogen carbonate is reacting with the acid, so produced carbon dioxide and water. These both of the products we definitely get whenever a carbonate reacts with the acid. Let's look at the example. Sodium carbonate, for example, we have taken, and acid we have taken hydrochloric acid. So sodium from this base and anion from the acid, these both will react together to form the salt, and rest of the elements will rearrange themselves and they will form water and carbon dioxide, because water and carbon dioxides are their byproducts in this chemical reaction. So water and carbon dioxide will be forming definitely, but what the salt will be formed, that will depend on the nature of the cation and anion we have chosen as an acid and base. Let's take another example, sodium hydrogen carbonate and hydrochloric acid. So what they will form? Again we have the same cation sodium, and anion we have chlorine. So sodium and chlorine will form sodium chloride, and water and carbon dioxide will get once again. If we are having calcium carbonate as in base and hydrochloric acid, now the cation is calcium and anion is chlorine. So they will form calcium chloride, and the formula of calcium chloride is CaCl2. And water and carbon dioxide we are getting as a byproduct. Okay, if we are having calcium bicarbonate, then also we will have the same products. Now what is the difference between these two reactions, in between these two reactions and between these two reactions? There is only a difference between their balancing. So after writing the reactions, we have to balance the equations. So here you could see that we are having 2 HCl. This is H2SO4, it's not HCl. So here we will be having a different anion. Calcium is reacting with sulfate, so they will form calcium sulfate, water and carbon dioxide. So the salt which we are getting, that will depend on the nature of cations and anions available in the reaction. Okay, now the main difference, if we talk about these two reactions, so the difference between these two reactions is only of the balancing. That you could see here, that here is we are having 2 HCl, and here we are having only 1 HCl. Here we are having 2 NaCl, and here we are having only 1 NaCl. So this difference is because of the balancing. So this balancing we have to do after writing the equation every time. Now what happens in the lime water test? First of all, we take the lime water. Lime water is what? Lime water is a colorless liquid. Like we are having a water, so water is also a transparent colorless liquid. Same lime water is also a transparent colorless liquid. So lime water, which is of the chemical formula of lime water is calcium hydroxide. So this calcium hydroxide, when we pass the carbon dioxide to it, so this transparent solution turns to milky, because it forms calcium carbonate. So when calcium hydroxide reacts with carbon dioxide, it forms calcium carbonate and water is generated. I'll explain you this reaction also afterwards, but first of all you just remember this thing, that lime water turns milky here, and this milkiness is appearing because of calcium carbonate. If we keep on passing carbon dioxide for some more time, so we see that this milkiness will disappear. So what is happening? First of all, we were having a colorless solution, then milkiness appears to it, and then this milkiness disappears. We were passing the carbon dioxide to a colorless solution, so milkiness appears because of calcium carbonate. And when we keep on passing the carbon dioxide to this solution, then this again turns to colorless solution because the chemical product have been changed now. For here the calcium carbonate have formed, and here the calcium bicarbonate have formed, and this bicarbonate do not have any color. This is why the color have disappeared. Okay, so what happened actually, lime water when react with carbon dioxide, it formed calcium carbonate, which gives the milkiness to the solution. Now when all the lime water has been reacted with the carbon dioxide, and in this test tube only the calcium carbonate and water is there. So this calcium carbonate and water is left behind only. This calcium carbonate and water is reacting with carbon dioxide now when we keep on passing the carbon dioxide for long duration. Then this carbon dioxide will react with both of these reactant and forms calcium bicarbonate. This is why the milkiness disappears. Now check out the lime water test. First of all, we take a test tube and we pass. In the test tube, we have taken the lime water. You could see the lime water is colorless, transparent liquid. We pass the carbon dioxide to it for some few minutes. We see the milkiness will appear. So this is the lime water test. The milkiness appears, that means it detects the presence of carbon dioxide. Now next we are doing the reaction of acid with base. We have done the acid when reacts with metal, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. When base reacts with acid, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. Now what happens when acid and base reacts together? So when acid and base reacts together, then it forms salt and water. Now hydrogen gas has been removed with water. HCl we have taken as an acid, and for base, for example, we are taking magnesium hydroxide. Okay, so from the acid again the anion is reacting, and from the base again the cation is reacting. These two react together to form a salt, magnesium chloride. And what we are left with? We are left with hydrogen and OH. So this hydrogen from the acid and base from the base, the OH minus ions, they both react together, H plus and OH minus, they both react together to form H2O. So this is the product, salt and water. Cation from the base and anion from the acid, they both react together to form the salt, and OH from the base and hydrogen from the acid, they will react together to form the water. This is our reaction, this is our product. And this reaction is also known as neutralization reaction. Why this reaction is known as neutralization reaction? Because it is neutralizing both of the effects. Hydrochloric acid is acidic in nature and sodium hydroxide is basic in nature. But when these two acid and base react together, then the solution will not be acidic or basic. It will come down to be neutral. So that is why this solution is known to be a neutralization reaction. The product which we are getting, the salt and water, the salt is also neutral in nature and the water which we get is also neutral in nature. That is why this is a neutralization reaction. Now let's look at some more examples so that we can understand how can we write the reaction. So this is the another acid, sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide we have taken as a base. Again we are doing that cation from the base and anion from the acid. These two will react together. We are getting sodium and sulfate. So sodium sulfate will form here as salt, and H and OH will form to produce water. Then another acid we have taken Cl and calcium hydroxide. So from the HCl, the chlorine is reacting with calcium and forming the calcium chloride as salt, and hydrogen and OH minus is reacting together and making bond together to form water. Now another type of reaction which we are given is reaction of acid with metal oxide. Acids you have understood now. Acids are we can take hydrochloric acid, we could take acetic acid, we could take nitric acid, we could take sulfuric acid. These are the acids which are easily available in and we can do the reactions with them. Metal oxides are metal, like for example sodium, magnesium, calcium. These are the metals, and metal oxides are magnesium oxide, calcium oxide. These are metal oxides. So when acid, for example nitric acid we have taken here, nitric acid react with metal oxide. First of all, let's go for the formula. What is the formula of this reaction? Metal oxide when react with the acid, they form salt and water. Okay, the same thing which we got from the acid and base reaction. So this is metal oxide is also is actually a base. So metal oxide when react with nitric acid, so cation from the magnesium oxide and anion from the acid will react together, will form magnesium nitrate, and this H and O will form water. The same thing is happening which we have done in the acid base reaction. Again, look at another example, calcium oxide and hydrochloric acid. So calcium as an cation from the base and chlorine as an anion from the acid will react together to form the calcium chloride, and H and O will form H2O. Okay, if we are having some other type, for example copper oxide, so copper from the base and chlorine from the acid will react together to form copper chloride, and water will get as a byproduct. Okay, so this is how we can write the chemical reactions. Okay, so here we could also be given the diagram. So let's understand with the diagram also. For example, in a beaker we have taken the unreacted copper oxide, and to this unreacted copper oxide we have added the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so this solution is of hydrochloric acid. Okay, when we give heat to it, so we see that this copper oxide will start reacting with the hydrochloric acid, and it forms copper chloride, and water will left behind. Okay, water will evaporate and the copper chloride will left behind. Now this is the last type of reaction, that when bases react with non-metallic oxide. Base, you know that base, whatever the compound is having a H2O in it, OH in it, so they are the base. Okay, for example sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. So these are all bases because they all contain OH ions in their compound. Okay, non-metals are carbon, sulfur, nitrogen. These are all non-metals. So non-metal oxides, so this could be carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide NO2, or nitrogen makes some other oxides also. See, these all oxides when react with base, so what happens? Carbon dioxide when react with base, it always form carbonates, okay, as a salt, and water is also produced. Okay, so this is the basic structure of the reaction. You have to remember this formula, that non-metal oxides react with base. Non-metal oxides are actually acid in nature. They are acidic in nature. So this is again a acid-base reaction. We have done the acid-base reaction. That in acid-base reaction we get salt and water. The same thing we are getting the salt and water here, because non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, and this acid is reacting with a base. Okay, so they are also producing salt and water. So carbon dioxide here is non-metal oxide, and this is a base. So we'll take cation from the base. Always we take cation from the base. So cation, sodium from the base we have taken, and this sodium will react with CO2 and oxygen. So it forms sodium carbonate. How this third oxygen have come, don't bother about all these things. You just keep remember that carbon dioxide when react with a base, it will produce carbonate as a salt. Okay, when sulfur dioxide will react with a base, it will produce sulfate SO4 as a salt. Okay, when NO2 or any nitrogen oxide compound when react with the base, it will form nitrate as a salt. We'll get here NO3. Nitrate means NO3. We'll get here NO3. If sulfur dioxide, any of the compound of sulfur dioxide For example, if we are given a reaction that's SO2 when react with NaOH, so what will get? Na2SO4. This is the formula of sodium sulfate. Na2SO4 will get and water will get. How this is forming, how it is accumulating this extra oxygen and all, don't bother about this. This is the basic form, this is the basic structure we have got, this is the basic equation we have got. Now we could balance the equation. Okay, so you could watch my video of balancing. You could understand that how we can do the balancing. It's very easy to do balancing, only 1 minute it takes. Okay, another example, let's take another base we are having. For example, calcium hydroxide we are having here, and carbon dioxide, the same non-metallic oxide. Now carbon dioxide will form the carbonate, we know, and calcium is here as a cation. So calcium will get calcium as a cation in the salt, and carbon dioxide is forming carbonate. So what we are getting? We are getting calcium carbonate, and next byproduct is water. Okay, so major thing what we need to just look at is calcium we are using, and carbon dioxide is forming a carbonate. Okay, so calcium carbonate we are getting, and water is as a byproduct. So this is how I hope it will be easy for you to remember these reactions the way which I am telling you. Now after this you have to practice this few questions so that you come to know that whether you have understood this topic or not. If you do not, if you face any problem, you could ask me in the comment section below.